What's up, everybody? Bootsy Greenwood here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about attention and pendulums today because, I'm really liking boiling these concepts down and trying to make this stuff as simple as possible. One of the things that I was thinking about was, what are we? And I thought about it a lot, and, I really like to boil things down to the most simple form, and, I got to say, all we are is attention. That's it. That's all consciousness is. It's all we really are. And that's why everyone's trying to compete for your attention constantly. And our attention span's shrinking more and more. Like, you guys are probably already bored watching this video. So keeping that in mind, I wanted to talk a little bit about meditation and pendulums, because whatever we're paying attention to, we are actively engaging in, creating, growing, giving our energy to. Where attention goes, energy flows, right? And the point of transurfing is for us to put our attention on ourself so that we can understand who we are at our most fundamental level and understand what we're trying to do, really, right? That's how we find our goal. The point of transurfing is to understand who we are as well as we can, and that leads us directly to our goal in an effortless manner. It's as simple as peeling these layers back, understanding exactly what we are, focusing our attention on what we are, and then moving in a direction that corresponds to that so that we can ask the world what it needs and offer that to the world. So here we are. This is us. Oh, I'm back at it. Okay. So this is us, and, we're walking around, and there's all these thought streams that are trying to grab our energy, right? All these thought streams. We have the news media, right? We have meditation. I want to talk a little bit about meditation today. That's even in itself a pendulum, right? Like, sitting down and meditating is in itself even a pendulum. Isn't that crazy to think about? One thing that I've been working on is meditation. I actually quit for a long time. I did it for 5 years, and honestly got to the point where it was so damn boring that I just couldn't take it anymore. And recently, or even actually before that, I changed my relationship to it, because what I used to do was I would meditate the conventional way, the way everyone tells you to do. You sit a certain way, you push all your thoughts down. Every time you have a thought, you change it back. But I flipped the script on this, okay? And I want to tell you what I've been doing. I've been just allowing whatever to float up during my meditation, and then I try and focus my energy and attention on my center screen, right? And for me, that's right here. It's in the center of my chest. It is my heart. Yeah, dude, I'm all about the Care Bear stare. Let's do that thing, okay? So that's where my attention is. This is also where the plate is, okay? And I see, like this projection here. And I focus my attention on this, and it creates a loop of really love. I mean, it really does. So I feel like I'm generating just very positive, loving energy. And I believe what our attention goes to amplifies, right? This pendulum idea is true. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm focusing on the news media, then I'm actively giving my attention to that, which is all I am, right? That's what I am. So I'm giving myself to these things. We give ourselves to these pendulums. So instead, why not focus on who we are and try and understand that? What is the feeling of who you are? Well, I believe that's cultivated in your electrical chakra center or your heart. So let's talk about these pendulums a little bit. Oh, yeah. I meant to change that. I mean, that'd be one of these. Okay, so these pendulums, right? All we are is attention. The pendulums are constantly trying to hook us, right? They're trying to get a reaction from us so that we divert our attention from ourselves to the pendulums themselves. So we have the news media, we have meditation. Let's say we have religion, okay? And I just want to illustrate how this works, okay? Because we come into the world as this most individual droplet of water, right? It's very distinct. We have our own shape. We're different than any other droplet. We have our shape, or what Vadim calls the frail of our soul. And that is what opens the door to our goal so that we can be our most authentic expression of ourselves and effortlessly bring value to the world without having to fight for a place in the sun. Now, when we get hooked by a pendulum, let's say this pendulum of religion hooks us. Now it's got our attention. Let's say it's Mormonism, okay? I don't mean to pick on Mormonism, just the first thing that came to my mind, and this is a good example because if you become, let's say, a Mormon, now all of a sudden you're going to go out and you're going to have to put on a white short sleeve shirt with a tie, right? And you're going to need to, go around and tell people about Joseph Smith and ride a bicycle. Oh, that's like a 1925 bicycle there. That's not the best bike ever. You would look pretty cool on one of those. That's like a Mormon hipster, I guess. But the point is, this wasn't this dude's idea, right? It wasn't his idea to go and proselytize people to wear underwear all the time or whatever Mormons believe. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I really don't mean to be offensive, but it's just funny because, like, look, dude, you would have never wore a white shirt and a tie. You would have never, on your own accord, well, I mean, maybe you would, but not all these people would. And the more people that contribute to this, the bigger it grows, right? Like this becomes a thicker thought stream. It becomes a bigger energetic informational structure at that point. So Mormonism gets bigger and bigger and bigger the more people who adhere to that philosophy. However, also, the more people who hate it, like this guy comes to the door, he's knocked on the door, and he's mad, really mad, and he says, "Get out, dude. You dirty Mormon. You get out of here with your underpants," or whatever it is. And he's mad. So now what is he doing? He's contributing negative energy. So this guy's contributing positive energy to this pendulum. This guy's contributing negative energy to the pendulum. Okay? So wherever our attention is, that's what we're creating in the world. That's what we're bringing into the world. And it doesn't matter if it's positive attention or negative attention. It really doesn't matter. If we get mad and yell at the TV all day, or get hooked into some conspiracy theory or something, these are all interesting things to discover and learn about. But the more we give our emotional energy, our thought energy, our focus, our attention, which is literally all we are. That's it, dude. That's it. That's all you are is attention. So whatever it is that you're giving your attention to, just be very mindful of that. And when you're in meditation, I recommend, instead of pushing thoughts down, allow them to float up, okay? And I think this is a great way for us to tune in and listen to the rustle of the morning stars, our deepest, most authentic voice, okay? Because we've got all these voices flooding up from social media, from the news media, from billboards, from all of those kind of things. You know, I was talking to a friend yesterday and she was telling me that she follows people on Instagram, but most of them she will just mute because it's just so much noise going in and it's affecting us on a subconscious level. We don't even realize it. It sometimes just passes by the brain. So be very, very aware, keenly aware, not afraid, but aware of where your attention is. That's what the watcher is all about in transurfing. It's really about noticing. Be aware of your awareness. Be conscious of where you're putting your focus, where you're putting your attention, because that is your energy. And that's really, literally all you are, which is why that is the most valuable currency in the world and why everyone is vying for your attention. So all you are is attention. Whatever it is that you're focusing on, you are bringing more of that into the world. So be sure to pay attention to that. When you're in meditation, try this, okay? Do meditation your own way, but if you're hooked into the meditation pendulum and you're like, I'm sitting here and I'm clearing my mind and I can't have any thoughts in it and don't suppress. Let it all come up, okay? I've flipped the script on this and I recommend doing it just to try it out and see how that works for you, okay? So let it float up, man. Listen and see if you can point out what voices are yours, what voices are other ideas and thoughts that are just rumbling around, And, if a song starts playing in your head, just notice the fact that you can't remember the whole song. I just can't understand why. It's just that one part. It's so frustrating. Guys, if you aren't already, get on the Facebook group. That's really where I'm engaging with people. It's an amazing group. A lot of really good discussions happening there. You can bring your questions, and several transurfing instructors will comment. Other people will comment. We're sharing stories. There's a lot of love in the group. It's not new agey and, cheesy. It's very straightforward and loving and sincere and legitimate. And I've cried a lot of tears of joy over there on that group. And I just really appreciate everyone who's over there. If you're not over there, I know Facebook has got some stigma to it, and I completely get that. I'm not really a big fan of Facebook myself. However, this group, until we can maybe do an app or something, it's just absolutely amazing. So, you don't need to check your profile. You don't need to do anything else, but I do recommend getting on this group. It's very interactive. It's very engaging, and and so do that. So I'll put the link for that down there. Also, follow me on Gumroad and Patreon as well, and be sure to check out Transurfing TV. Just had an amazing podcast with comedian Jessa Reed, and she is my spirit animal. I just had a blast chatting with her. So be sure and check that out, as well as the Transurfing Chill series. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.